everybody, and welcome back to another epic JayBoss video. Okay, as you will see, I've had my friend come back on and build more epic builds. Whoa. Now, in today's video, we will be reviewing the last part of the Epic Knights mod, which is shields and armor decorations. Alright? Now, the shields are not that special. There's only like a few things I need to talk about each of them. I do want to show you. So, let's review. Starting with the Targe shield. Now, there are 3 shields in this mod that are made out of metal. And the Targe is the smallest of all of them, having only 8 points of maximum damage block. That's right, Epic Knights actually tells you. Now, the Targe can only go up to 10, and in my opinion is the least protective shield in the mod, but it's also the smallest, which, in case you were wondering, is a benefit because that means that in first person mode it will not cover your screen as much. In fact, it doesn't even show at all until you block, which in my opinion actually makes it a shield worth using. Now, the reason why it's important to differentiate between metal shields and wooden shields in this mod is because metal shields, you cannot put banner patterns on them, but wooden shields you can. See, here's a metal shield, here's a wooden shield. Metal, wooden. You cannot put banner patterns on these guys. Trust me, I tried, and it sucks that you can't. Now, this one is, I think it's my 5th favorite shield, okay, in the mod. There's only like 10, so it's really hard to rank them. But this is the elliptical shield. It's like a round shield or the Targe that we just reviewed, but it's an oval. Now, the beauty of this is that makes it really good for when you're doing checkerboard patterns. See how I did it here? Except this one I'm using here is a steel. It's slightly darker. It looks like stone. I get it confused with stone a lot, but it's steel. Okay? Steel. Coming up next, we have the iron round shield. Now, this shield right here is, I'm gonna say, my 4th favorite shield. Okay? Because, honestly, it's a good all-round shield. Pardon the pun. And it can block a decent amount of damage. Like, check this out. At iron level, can block 9 points. Okay? Now, at netherite level, assuming you can make it that far, because netherite is quite hard to get, I will admit, it goes up to 11. Now, the Targe from earlier only goes up to 10, and its iron stages is only at 8. And, best of all, you can put banner patterns on this one, which actually do look really, really nice. I actually really like this shield. This is my 4th favorite shield. Confirmed. Next we have, I mean, it's a pretty good shield, but it's definitely not in my top 10. Or, actually, I'm doing top 5, so it's not my top 5. Okay? This is the Iron Rondash shield. It's very, I would want to say Rond Ache, but it's Rondash. It's kind of crazy. Now, this shield is like the round shield. There's a lot of round shields in this mod. You'll be surprised, actually. But this one is a metal shield, so you can't put banner patterns on it. No! But that's okay, because it blocks 15 points of damage at iron level, 17 at netherite. Now, the interesting thing, this is the only shield that when it's at netherite, and at netherite only, so diamond won't affect you, but netherite will give you slow movement speed. That is kind of cool, actually, because these are supposed to be like solid metal shields. Even though the back is wooden, they're mostly metal. That's why you can't put banner patterns on them. But I do like that fact. I think that's very cool. Coming up next, we have the Iron Pavise. Okay, that is how you're supposed to say it. And this is my 3rd favorite shield. The reason why I like it, though, will surprise you. Okay? First of all, it's a literal gigantic wall. Like, I'm pretty sure that if you could get like 1,000,000 people to hold this shield, block with it, and then stand on top of each other, you could build a castle out of this shield. I mean, it would be a little absurd, but you get the idea. It's literally a giant wall you carry in your hands. Now, obviously, carrying a giant wall on your hands is not going to be very light. But it is very protective. As you'll see right here, 19 points of maximum damage block. Okay? At iron level. Targe, only 8. But this, 19. But it gives you slow movement speed. And, as some of you might have seen on that little quick demonstration there, okay, it is a wooden shield, so you can put banner patterns on it, which is cool. I'd definitely be mad if you couldn't do that. Carry a huge wall, and it's so ugly. Can't bear to have it. So the reason why I like this shield a lot is because of this. That's right. You can place it on the ground. Okay? Now, if that wasn't revolutionary enough, watch this. Whoa! You can put banner patterns on it and place it down. How's that not cool? How's that not cool? Seriously, explain to me. How is this not cool? How can this mod possibly get any cooler? Well, you'll find out the answer to that when we finish the shield. Coming up next, we have my second favorite shield, okay? This is the Iron Heater Shield. Now, if you've ever thought of like a medieval battle, they probably were using this shield, or at least you were thinking that they did. Because, well, it's a good shield. It's a good compromise between having a huge square on your hand and having a huge cylinder on or circle on your hand. And the best part is like you can stab it into the ground, make a makeshift pivot if you need to. But what I like about it is its protectability. Let's see. So right here, at iron level, 12 points of maximum damage block. Okay, and it's wooden, so you can put a banner pattern on it. But you'll notice if I find netherite here, goes up to 14. Now that, in my mind, is a good compromise between visibility, protection, coolness, and a bunch of other stuff. But that is my second favorite shield. We are now about to review my #1 all-time favorite shield of all time. Please give her hand for the Kite Shield. Now, this shield, I have to explain a lot if you guys are going to understand why I like it so much. So first of all, this shield, okay, if you look at any medieval paintings or art or anything, they're most likely going to be using this shield. Okay, and there's several reasons why. The first reason being, which it did not get converted in Minecraft sadly, but these shields, instead of being flat like they are in this game, had like a slight curve to them. And what soldiers would do is if it was raining, they would hold them up over their heads and walk, and that would deflect all the rain down. Because it'd be like a rain shield. It'd be cool, actually. And then, this is a wooden shield, so you can put a banner pattern on it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, see, I have it on the model here, which actually looks really, really good. Now, fun fact. I used to hate this shield. I used to hate it. I hate this shield. But now, I love it, okay? And it's honestly the best shield in the mod, in my opinion. Even though I do think it is quite a bit small. Because in real life, these shields went from, like, your toes to your nose. They were big. Now, all these shields, I've been saying the wooden ones are more lightweight, but they're still wooden. They're still quite heavy. I mean, imagine having to, like, take a desk with you into battle. That would be crazy. Okay, coming up, we have the last two shields in the mod. We have the Iron Buckler, which, honestly, is just here for, like, historical purposes. It's pretty much the same as the Targe. Yeah, it's the same. 8, 10, 8, 10. Yeah, yeah, they even have the same like weight numbers, which are for Epic Fight mod, which I will not be covering, but it is a cool mod. And I may even show it off in my modded survival series that will be coming out very, very soon. Yeah. Make sure you get excited, but it might be a letdown, but it might be cool. I don't know. Okay, finally, guys, we have the last shield in the mod, the Iron Tarchet, which is about the same as the heater shield, but what I like about it is it's a good compromise between the Pavise and like the elliptical shield, because it's statistically equivalent to the heater shield, but it has this huge bite mark taken out of it, so that way you can still see past it, because otherwise it'd be huge. But see, you can't see through the heater shield, see through the Tarchet, so if there's an enemy right there, you can see him totally coming. It would be totally cool to use this in battle. Okay, folks, I wanted to do this bit in the Great Hall that I had my friend build for the showcase, but honestly, there's just too many in there, and it suddenly became cramped. So I wanted to showcase these off in their own little view. I do like the meat hall that they built, but it's too small for this. Don't worry though, I have an excellent idea for it in the future. It will still be used. So I've actually grouped all of these decorations together by kind of like what they are. So we have the animal ones, these ones, the feathers, the crowns, the miscellaneous, and then the chest piece ones. So all in all, I'd say I've got these sorted pretty well. So let's check them out. Starting with the duck. It's just a nice little brown duck that sits on your helmet. Then we have the lion, which some of these are only really great from the side. It's really hard to see them from the front. The griffin, which totally disproves what I just said. The bear, which definitely proves it. And then the dragon. Now this one is my personal favorite out of all the animal decorations. I like this one a lot. Then the horse, which, I mean, doesn't look too bad. Then the unicorn, which again is only really great from the side. Also, these ones right here were kind of animal. We have the gazelle horns, which I like how they make this perfect circle shape. That's very cool. Then we have the bull horns, which also make a perfect circle shape. Which you can actually look up the Great Helm online, and you will find an image of it with this helmet crest on it. I think it's called like the Von Pronk helmet or something, but it's actually on there. Then we have the lily, technically a plant, but since it uses the same like model and orientation as the rest of these, and plus it's the only place it really fits, I figured it should go right here. Then we have the antlers, which is my second favorite animal decoration. Simply because it's like the gazelle horns, but it's more antlery. Now, these ones, I have no idea what you would consider them. They're called the torse and mantle, and then this one's just a torse, which is like a rag that you fold and twist into like a string, and then you tie it around your helmet, and then you put this little veil under it. This is called a mantle. Now, if you don't like the little veil piece, it does come in just the torse, which in my opinion looks like a ninja headband. Then we have the feather decorations. These are all made or are about feathers. Starting with the two plumes. No, these are not Viking horns, these are feathers. And it looks like horns, and I think I've seen a few medieval arts have this on there. But it's awesome. I mean, All of these feather ones are dyeable. Okay, all of them. And the torso and mantle are dyeable. I'll go over which ones are craftable at the end. But this one is dyeable. And I think when you use yellow, it looks very nice. Up next, we have the big plume. Now this one is special. Because you'll notice it comes in red. So you might think, oh, it's not dyeable. Well, it is dyeable. And if you put it on the armette, a special thing happens. Right here. It gets put on the armette helmet icon. It only happens with the armette. In fact, if I look it up at JEI here, you will see that normally it comes decorated. But I guess since I'm on 1.21.1 instead of 1.20.1, it doesn't do that. But it does this because in older versions of the mod, when you crafted the armette, you had to do it with 3 wool blocks that had to be red. And it would make this, and then you couldn't take it off. I'm very glad that they changed this, but it's still a cool thing that they referenced it in the future updates. I really like that. Next, we have the 3 plumes, which is left plume, middle plume, right plume. All dyeable, of course, all craftable. And they just put feathers on the back of your helmet in a different way. I think that's pretty cool. But what's even cooler is they can be crafted all together in the feathers decoration. Now, I've dyed this one already. I've dyed it to black. But you can see how it's got like a feather texture going on. And that's because when you look at it from the front, I dyed it black because I think it looks like a bat. I thought that was cool. Up next, we probably have what you all can tell is my favorite decorations, the crowns. We have the big crown, the mini crown, and the flower crown. Now, only the flower crown is craftable. If you can't craft these, you can always buy them from the Wandering Trader. Okay, he will sell them, but I gotta warn you, it is very, very expensive. Like, I think this crown right here, 25 emeralds. Yeah, expensive. I think the dragon one is like 35, and the griffin also 30, but like, they're expensive, man. Like, you've gotta have a villager trading hall if you want these decorations. They are tough to get. Coming up on the last decorations here, we have 3 miscellaneous ones before we get to the chess piece ones. So, starting off, we have the spike. Now, the thing I love about this one is how it's literally a metal spike that's like tied to your helmet because it's got this cloth on it. And I like how it goes downward onto the back of the helmet. I have it on the kettle hat because every time I've seen this decoration, it's been on a kettle hat. Next, we have the horns. Now, this crest was actually used historically. A lot, like significantly historically, by one order of knights called the Teutonic Knights. They would wear this on their great helms. And then they'd wear their white surcoats and stuff. That's why I have it dressed like this. This is what a This is what a Teutonic Knight would look like. Okay? This is what you would see if you fought them. It's pretty scary, actually. And now, what you've probably all been thinking of ever since I said the word armor decorations. The Viking horns. Now, this one is craftable. And I put it on the Norman helm because, first of all, those were actual Vikings. And second of all, because, you know, it kind of reminds me of something. Something a little bit crazy, but awesome. Yo, to Coming up on the last 3 decorations here, these 3 are all for the chess piece. And I have seen all of these in action. And basically, I've always seen them on this set of armor, which is why I put them on there. The first one we have is the rondelles, which were little tiny circular plates that would hang off the knight's shoulders. When you hit them, they'd go backward and like hit the knight, which, as it sounds painful, it actually wasn't, as it made the hits more like less concentrated, because they'd have like a spiral pattern on them. It's hard to explain, and plus they were kind of ceremonial. Next we have the only decoration in this mod I can't pronounce. The Aurea, which is the pronunciation I'm going with. But I do know what it is. It's a lance rest. See how it comes down over the shoulder here? Basically, you would put your lance like underneath your arm and on this, and that'd be your lance rest. And then you'd use that to joust. It was so that way you could hold on to the reins better and get a better hold of your horse, rather than focus on holding your lance, because lances were like easily dropped. And lastly, my favorite chest piece decoration, the hood. This right here, sometimes they would just wear this as its own like garment, but they did put it on armor sometimes. This is how they would protect their shoulders and stuff when they weren't wearing their surcoat. This is also dyeable, and now we have to go over the crafting recipes. Starting with, first we have the torse, then the torse and mantle, which you need the torse to make. These are both dyeable, by the way. Next we have the two plumes, which takes steel ingots. I think they should change this to steel nuggets, because that seems a bit expensive. Then we have the left plume, which takes the right plume to make. The middle plume, which takes 2 feathers. Then the right plume, which also takes 2 feathers, but the way you put them is important. Then we have the big plume, which is red wool and a feather. Then the feathers, which takes all 3 of those like left, right, and middle plumes. Next we have the flower crown, spike, and Viking horns. Flower crown is made using pretty much any 4 of any kind of flower you can think of, including the new cherry petals. Spike, which again, I think they should make a steel nugget instead of an ingot, because that seems a bit expensive. The Viking horns, which takes 2 goat horns. Now, in older versions of the mod, this would just be 2 bones, because this mod came out before 1.18 when goats were added. So make sure that you're looking at the right recipe. This is for 1.21.1. Now we have the hood, rondelle, and Aurea. Please comment down below how I say this word. The hood is crafted like so. This I think is the cheapest one besides the flower crown. The rondelles, which are 2 steel plates and leather strips. And the Aurea, which is the same thing but like bunched up together. I think this is a good representative recipe. So that is all of the shields and armor decorations in Epic Nights. This, sadly, concludes our Epic Night mod review, which is very, very sad. I did enjoy reviewing this mod, but I have good news. You've probably been thinking, JayBoss, what are you going to do after you review the Epic Nights mod? I mean, honestly, what else is there to do? This has been your whole channel so far. Well, not to worry. I have some amazing stuff for you guys. So, in the future, which is going to be very close actually, I shouldn't say future, probably like ASAP, I will have a modded survival series, where I have a custom mod pack that I made myself. I will not be releasing it, of course, but I will show you guys all the mods that are in it, so you can recreate it if you want. But I will start it soon, and I'm very excited for you guys to see it, because I think I've got a good selection of mods going. And guess what? Epic Nights is in it! Yeah! But I do hope you guys enjoyed the 3rd Epic JayBoss video. And I will see you guys in the next video.